processes are the workflows, automation, roles and responsibilities, and measurements that enable and cross-process integration within a portfolio. The process management is a framework used to gather, measure, evaluate, optimize, and manage all available processes, and evaluate the impact on other resources. Processes are scored, and best-of-fit process modifications are identified. Setting attainable process improvements, measurement targets occurs in the management aspects of a process. As part of ongoing modeling practices, an organization should establish maturity baselines for processes critical to operational success. Descriptions of the most widely used processes gathered from leading private and public sector entities can be found in the Infrastructure Library, known as ITIL. ITIL was originally created by the Central Computer and Telecommunications Agency, a UK government agency, and it is the most widely accepted approach to service management. It is not unusual to see organizations focus on complex process workflows as the major indicators of operational success. It is important that organizations capture the essence of process performance yet limit the number of individual process components measured. There are 5 key elements that in combination give a well-balanced view of operational process performance and maturity, and serve as key inputs for the process portfolio. First is process definition, what is and is not included as part of the process. Second is process integration points, the inputs and outputs from each process and how they interrelate, for example, integration points between organizations' goals and strategies, service requests, problems, and change management, identifying dependencies, timing, value or risk, and impacts on overall service delivery. Next is skills and staffing, the roles and responsibilities required to perform the processes, like the need for a change manager, as part of the change management process. Fourth, process automation, cross-platform performance of the process automation, as it exists in the environment, with process tools that have been customized being measured according to their current state. Last, process performance measures, the operations group's ability to measure day-to-day performance of the individual process, analyzing activities, systems, or skills and watching for below-average performance and cost inefficiencies. Imitating Carnegie Mellon's Software Engineering Institute's Capability Maturity Model (CMMI) maturity scheme, despite its traditional use for application development processes, helps in the communication aspects of the process portfolio. Operational maturity models must not only estimate process maturity on a particular platform, they must also weigh the importance of the platform to the organization. The maturity models feed the process portfolio, where prioritization of process improvement activities based on performance levels and impacts occurs. Prioritization looks at many criteria, including business and maturity modeling also helps the process portfolio identify potential process performance risks. The inputs to the process portfolio will increasingly factor in the impact that business variables, for example, organization culture, ability and willingness of the organization to change, and process improvement priorities, have on the operational process performance and improvement efforts. The process portfolio inventories, and helps to identify related process grouping, for which synergy between processes is demonstrated. The fields captured within the portfolio might include description of the process, for example activities, actors, dependencies and constraints, cross-process integration, and tool characteristics like open architecture, application program interface, intuitive graphic user interface. Operations groups identify possible process candidates that should be bundled and seek to prove performance returns. processes are continually reviewed for modification and improvement opportunities. Six Sigma is a logical tool used by many organizations for process improvement. An example of a process within the portfolio that is critical to running operations is change management, which should be at a high level of maturity, particularly if the goal of an organization is agility. Change management involves any variation to the current as-is state, with the goal of continuing to perform while effectively managing change. Change management integrates with many other processes like problem management. If users do not feel they are receiving what they require, they notify the help desk, which opens a trouble ticket. Configuration management assesses the risk, impact, and source of change. According to research, fewer than 1% of organizations perform configuration management beyond simple desktop, server, and network configuration, significantly limiting the potential of the operations groups to effectively execute change management. Operational readiness assesses the overall impacts of change beyond those related just to technology. Request management, closely communicating with the requester, things like schedule, risks, impacts on other systems and processes,